Well, welcome to another edition of my yoga teaching. Today we are going to focus on pranayama or breath practice. And this is a special video for those of you that maybe struggle a little bit with your breath, or I'm making it during quarantine for the COVID-19 virus. So for those of you that are struggling with maybe emotional issues around quarantine or just energy issues around quarantine. And we're going to close out with some practices that have been given to us by the medical community recently to help with both stress. Dr. Andrew Weil's practice will do that. And then also with lung capacity and lung strength in relationship directly to the COVID-19 virus. So I'm going to start with high energy breath practices, ones that maybe you might do if you have a busy day. Maybe you've got toddlers and you've got to get up and you've got to get moving and you're tired. So some that can help you to gain more energy, a couple. And then also maybe you have, even if you have no kids, maybe you have to go into a Zoom meeting and you just feel really low energy, or maybe you have to run a Zoom meeting and you have no energy. So these are things you could maybe do before you go into that meeting to help you gain a little bit more energy in your day. I'm going to stand up. You won't be able to see my head for all of this. I've got my nice Thai massage mat spread out today, so I can lay down and be a little bit more comfortable towards the end. I'm also going to do another related video on sleep positions that'll be coming up. I don't know about today, but maybe tomorrow. So be looking for that as well coming up. And also, before we get started, I would just love to ask, as your way of thanking me for these videos, if you could go down the bottom and subscribe or like this video. Both would be wonderful. It would be helping me tremendously in the long run, and it doesn't cost you anything more than just 2 button presses to help me in the long run. So I thank you in advance if you do feel so inclined to subscribe to this channel or to like this video. So we're going to start off with a standing pranayama, standing breath work. Sometimes if I have a busy day, I might do this as soon as my feet hit the ground when I'm getting out of bed. So it's called wood chopper. Hi, it's called wood chopper. So the way that we do this is we're going to stand with our feet far apart. I'm going to take my hands out over my head, and then I'm just going to take a deep breath in with my arms up, and then as I exhale, I'm just going to let my arms come down like I'm chopping wood, and make a big ho sound. Ha! Just like that. Ha! And I might do this 10 times or so in the morning. Ha! To just kind of bring blood flow into my body and to get my self awake, even before a cup of coffee. So that's the first one that I'd like to show you, wood chopper. And just channel your inner wood chopper and enjoy that one at any point when you might need to gain a little bit of extra energy. The second one, in yoga, it's called Kapalabhati, but I think that the traditional name in English is bellows breath. That's one that I'd like to teach now. And what we're going to be doing is using our diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a big kind of umbrella-shaped muscle that sits right underneath of your ribs and your lungs. And when you take a deep breath in, it kind of turns into an inverted umbrella to create space for the lungs that are now like two balloons that have blown up. And then when you exhale, they go back up. So it's kind of part of that vacuum system that is your respiratory system. And the diaphragm kind of helps to control that. If you want more information on this, Matthew Taylor has made a video called The 3 Diaphragms. That's really good. I highly recommend that to you. Try to remember to put the link at the bottom. So anyway, we work with this deep diaphragmatic breathing When you are breathing deeply with your diaphragm, your belly has a tendency to move in and out. I might turn sideways depending on how this turns out. I'm going to put my hands right here. So with Kapalabhati breathing, we take one nice long inhale, and then you stop thinking about inhale. Once you've got that deep inhale, then you just exhale, and then you exhale. And what happens is you exhale, and there's a little rebound. Inhale, exhale, rebound, exhale, rebound, until you can't do it anymore. For me, that's about 20. Then you take a little bit of a break, and then you do it again. You can take a cleansing breath, or you might get a little bit dizzy. So be aware of that. So, and you want to feel the belly moving. So let me demonstrate this for you now. Take a deep breath in, and then we're going to take small exhales. So let me do that again. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see my belly hopefully a bit more here. Taking a nice deep breath in, and then those small exhales. So that is a way to increase your abdominal strength, number one, but it's also a way to kind of energize again. It's certainly not a passive type of breath. For some people, it may be a little anxiety inducing. So if you find that, then maybe this isn't the breath for you. For many, it has, oh no, I touched my face. Sorry. For many, it's a way to kind of wake up. There was something else I was going to say. Yeah, I had my gallbladder out and I had a laparoscopic surgery. So with that, your belly is blown up with air. And after you've had that surgery, one of your jobs is to try to get that air out. Kapalabhati, I did it the first night in the hospital and it helped. That's not a medical endorsement of doing that. I'm just saying that me, with the experience I've had with this breath, I found it helpful in my recovery from any kind of laparoscopic surgery. So once you are a little bit more versed in this, it might be something you could try for that. And if you have a feeling, disagree, or want to have a discussion about that, please comment below and we can have a conversation around that. That's how I feel about it though. So those are the two energizing breaths that I'd like to introduce. I'm going to start moving into calming breaths first. One of my favorite is called bee breath, B-E-E, as in those bees, those things that give us honey. So with this, you normally would think of Z. We associate that sound with bees, but in this case, we're going to make an M sound. And what I want you to think about is bees flying around in your head. You want to feel a resonance, a vibration in your head while you're doing it. So it actually becomes a little bit nasally even as you're doing it. So I'll just demonstrate it for you once and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. So taking a breath in. That was a loud one. So you can do this very, very quietly, almost like a whisper, and no one has to know you're doing it. So I think of it, there's an old video where somebody says, I'm not listening, I'm not listening. It's almost like you're in a situation that you cannot walk away from, but you need to take a momentary time out, and you can't let the people know that you need to take this momentary time out. Bee breath, even a metaphorical bee breath, can be a way to do that, even if it's just a very, very, very quiet bee breath. Maybe there's hardly any vibration going on actually, but you can have that as a way of taking a momentary time out. You're even during your day, you could be walking in the woods and do some bee breath as a way of kind of recapturing your own energy or just centering a little bit. So I think of it as being for those kind of situations. When I taught children, I used to teach bee breath for them for dealing with friends and for situations at school that they really were out of their control. So the next one is snake breath, and that is traditional S, like that. But what we're doing is we're taking this big old mouth and we're making it smaller. We're closing our teeth and making it harder for the air to get in and out. So if you are spun up and have too much energy and you need to do things to slow the pace down, snake breath is something that you can do, because it forces you to breathe at a much reduced pace. So it's like this. And if you're quarantined with children, you can turn this into a competition to see who has the longest snake breath. And it kind of helps to drop the energy out of the space, because they're all kind of competing, but at the same time they're slowing down their breath, and there's all kinds of biophysical changes, or changes that happen when you're doing that just kind of calm us, mental changes that can happen in the middle of that. I feel it right now, a little bit of that. I don't know if you can feel it via the video, but I do right now. So those are two, to me, calming things that you can just take into your life. The next one is Durga Breath, and I've talked about this in some of my other videos. If you want, there's music on one of them. So you have that if you want to really explore this one a little bit more. But Durga Breath is 3-part breath. The 3 parts of the breath are your collarbones, your rib cage, and then your abs below that diaphragm we just talked about. So those are the 3 areas. And every day is a different journey for me. There are people in yoga that feel that you breathe from the top. First this expands, then the rib cage is always number 2. It's always that middle, and then the belly expands. Some people feel that the belly expands first, then the rib cage, then the collarbones. But it's basically, for me, I try it out each way, and whichever way feels right in the moment. And it can be just a matter of getting more air, or maybe it's an emotional response that my body has to one or the other. That's the one I go with for that particular day. So try both out. So I'm going to just try out bottom up first. And then exhaling. And then I'm going to try top down. See, I can't even get my abs to really engage from a top down. It feels to me almost like reverse breathing, like I'm drowning. So for me today, bottom up is what my body craves. Yours may be different. And either, like I said, is fine. But the way that this works is you breathe in, hold for a moment, then breathe to the second part. Hold for a moment, breathe to the third part. Hold for a moment, and then nice, long, slow exhale. So breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, exhale. Breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, and exhale. Some people like to count their breath. This is a great exercise to add breath counting to. So you can breathe in 1, 1, 1. Exhale. Breathe in 2, 2, 2. Exhale. One more. Breathe in 3, 3, 3, and exhale. So that is Durga, or 3-part breath. That's pretty much the gold standard of yoga breath. I'm going to digress for a moment because I just realized I forgot one on my list that should be on here. It's called Ujjayi breathing. It's the traditional breath that we do a lot when we're practicing yoga. And that is all in and out through the nose, both in and out. You want to make your throat feel somewhat open. You might sound like Darth Vader or like ocean waves. The key point here is to have the nice open throat, just allowing the breath to flow in and out. And there's something of a relaxation in the throat at the same time with this. It's in and out through the nose. So that brings to mind why in yoga do we do a lot of nose breathing, both in and out. Most people, when they're trying to calm breathe, in fact, Andrew Weil has us breathe in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And while there's nothing wrong with that, in yoga, much like we did with snake breath, our nostrils are much smaller than our mouth. So there's just this anatomical slowing down of the breath when you breathe in and out through your nose. But there's some other things that are going on at the same time that are positive. One, and this is especially important right now, is that there's hairs inside your nose that catch all kinds of germs, pollen, maybe viruses. I don't know for sure on that, but it's like the first line of defense. If you breathe through your nose, you're allowing for some of that to get caught, and then when you blow your nose, you blow it away. If it makes it past the hair follicles in your nose, because it's not as moist as the throat, then it makes it to your sinuses. In the sinuses, there's 25% of the nitric oxide that our bodies need to function is produced. Nitric oxide has an effect of being calming to the body, so breathing through the nose is calming. One other thing that nitric oxide does is it causes all of your blood vessels to dilate and get bigger, which allows more blood to flow through them, allows more oxygen to flow through them. So if you've heard with this COVID that there's a lot of talk of oxygen issues, getting a vasodilation going by breathing through your nose, it would be one very simple way to perhaps help your blood circulate better. So that's another big reason for breathing through the nose. I could go on, but I won't. Those are the big ones from my perspective. And in the interest of the nose now, let's move into single nostril breathing. And that's exactly what it says. We're going to start off a little bit more simply here and then move to the full expression of single nostril breathing. We'll start off by just shutting down one nostril and breathing in and out through the other one. And just taking a moment to notice what happens as you're doing this. What do you feel in your body? There may be a little teeny bit of anxiety, or you may be breathing deeper because it's harder to get more air in because you've now cut that source of air in half. Let's move over to the other one. Breathing in and out through this one. You may feel your nose running a little bit. You may feel like you need to blow your nose. That's fine. Go get some tissue and come back. Give it a pause here and come back if you need to. But what we really want in the full expression of single nostril breathing is for every breath to be shared between the two nostrils. So we inhale through one, then we change over to the other nostril and exhale through that one. Don't change again. Inhale through that same one. That's a new breath. and then change your nostril and exhale through the other one. So my rule is only change nostrils after inhale. If you can follow that, you're fine. A lot of people in yoga like to use their ring finger and their thumb on the same hand on the nostrils. That frees up a couple fingers in the middle to go on your third eye. As acupressure, the vagus nerve is up, kind of travels up here as well. So you're doing a little acupressure on the vagus nerve. And then I'm going to open up the nostril over here where my thumb is wiggling and take a deep breath in there. Then after that inhale, change. Exhale through the other one. Then inhale through that same side. And then change and exhale through the other side. Inhale through that same side. After inhale, changing over to the other side. Inhale. Change nostrils. And you can keep going with this. This is nice to do before bedtime. If you find that this is energizing to you, for some people it is, then it's probably better for you to do this in the morning. For me, it helps me sleep better. So if you've been struggling with sleep, this might be something you want to try to do. Or if you wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, single nostril breathing is something that might help you to get back to sleep. So now we're on to the different kinds of pranayama or breath work that doctors have recommended. Dr. Andrew Weil, who is he's out of Arizona State, maybe, I'm not sure, I think so. He is the premier integrative health practitioner doctor who does lots and lots of fellowships for doctors. They come from that are in various fields. In my town, Rome, Georgia, Dr. Matt Mumber, he's an integrative oncologist who studied with him. So we're fortunate to have one of his fellows in our town. You might want to look at his alumni list. He's excellent at working with alternate, integrative modalities like yoga, acupuncture, chiropractic, music therapy, massage therapy, aromatherapy, all kinds of things, herbology, Ayurveda, all kinds of different modalities. He's done a lot of work with that. And the gold standard that he shared with the world is, I think it's been called the 4-7-8 breath. And what that is you inhale for 4, and then you hold for 7, and then you exhale for 8. So the exhales are twice as long as the inhales. And if you do this and you find that it's either, if it's too fast, then maybe slow down the cadence of your breathing. If it's too slow, then speed up the cadence of your breathing. It's not important that you get it really slow or anything. It's important that the inhale be half the length of the exhale. So that's his big claim to fame there. I'm gonna straighten my legs. So let's just start by inhaling, and you can just count to 4. I'll count for you. If this is too slow or whatever, just ignore me and do your own thing. So we'll do inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It should have been held for 7, not 8. Sorry. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that is that. And it's stress reducing. His main focus with that was to reduce the amount of stress that you are experiencing. And then the last breath is the one that has been helping a bit with COVID-19. And I could talk a little bit about the lungs here. I might pop away with a few visuals for you while I'm talking here. Just a little bit about lung anatomy first. I don't know how this is going to look for you. My heart is over here, and you know, you pledge allegiance. You always put your right hand on your heart, but it ends up on the left side of your body. So the left lung shares space on its side with the heart. So there's this little spot in the left lung that's kind of cut out where the heart just kind of cradles in there. The left lung, as a result of that, only has 2 lobes. The right lung has 3 lobes, so it's slightly bigger, except that the liver sits below it, so it's shorter than the left lung. And then if you look at the one diagram I have of the ribs, you'll notice that the ribs kind of tilt up a bit in the front. They're in between, there's the breastbone, and they kind of come into this V here. Whereas in the back, you don't have that. They kind of curve down and then back up. And if you look on the back, there's a whole lot more rib space there than there is on the front. Well, the organs kind of fit right in there. And so what happens is our lungs are more spacious on our back than they are on our front. So what happens then when somebody gets put on a ventilator and they have to lay on their back, because it's impossible to have a ventilator on, at least as far as I know. It's hard to, it's pretty difficult to have a ventilator on and be face down. Nurses, doctors, please comment. I would love more information on this if I'm wrong. So you're laying on your back. You've got more lung space there, and the back is compressed into a bed or the floor or a Thai massage mat. Think about a balloon. If you laid it on the floor and you pressed on it, what would happen to the part that was touching the floor? It would be harder for it to expand because it's got something there that's preventing it from expanding. And so when we're trying to get more strength in the lungs, we want to be able to take advantage of that space on your back. So the method of breath that I found that doctors are trying to have people do is to inhale. And the demonstration I saw was inhaling through the mouth and exhaling through the mouth. And while that allows you to get more breath, it doesn't allow you to be calm. So I have added one revision to this, is that you do 2 rounds through the mouth like the doctors recommend, and you do it again 2 times through the nose. And then you lay prone, which means belly down. And I'll demonstrate how to do that in this Thai mat in just a moment. So breathing in, holding for 5 seconds, breathing out, repeating that 5 times. Then breathe in for the 6th one, and when you go to exhale, you cough, hopefully into an elbow or into a tissue or something, and then you repeat it. Doctors say twice, all mouth work. I say do it after that 2 more times through the nose for a total of 4, and then go down prone. When you go prone, you're not doing this breathing and holding thing. You're going back to your normal breath, but you're trying to breathe a bit deeper when you do that. And I'm going to give you some instruction on how to be comfortable prone, because I want you to stay there for 10 minutes. So we'll take a deep breath in and then just count to 5. And then exhale. Breathe in. and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. That's my third one. Breathe in and exhale. One more. Breathe in and exhale. Then breathe in. This is 6. And cough. Repeat it. Breathe in. Close the mouth. And breathe out. Breathe in. And exhale. 3 more. 2. I'm getting dizzy. And the one with the cough. Through the nose. Breathe in. Hold 5. And exhale. Breathe in. Hold 5. And exhale. 3 more. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. 1 more. And cough. 1 more round through the nose. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3 more. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last inhale. Exhale. And with a cough, inhale. So now it's time to go face down, prone. So I have here a pillow. I'm going to place it at my forehead, not on my whole head. I'm not going to turn my head sideways like this. I want my face down. So what I've done here is, if you notice, I've created a space for my mouth to be able to breathe. I like putting my hands on my forehead. And then you're just going to lay here. Just breathe in whichever way feels comfortable for you, through your mouth, through your nose, or through a combination of the two. Focus your attention into your lungs, really trying to expand the back lungs. Imagine that diaphragm like an umbrella going inside out as you breathe in, creating more space for the lungs. And I'm not going to stay here for a full 10 minutes. But just keep feeling that spacious movement of the lungs. that's really all I had for you today. So you can see I built a little heat here. So my wish for you all is just to be well. If this helps you to stay well, all the better. Namaste.